Hello, welcome to Flower Juice. My name is John McDonald, and today I want to create an arrangement using artificial flowers. And the thing with artificial flowers is now they're really good value, they're really good quality, so they might not be cheap, because I think in the past they were very cheap, but they look cheap. Whereas now they're good quality, a little bit more expensive, but you really do get what you paid for. Now I have to say, I've actually bought our artificials that we're going to use today out of IKEA. I was in IKEA and I saw them and I just thought, these are fabulous. So I thought, why not? Let's get a selection and see what we can do with them. So if you're going to buy some artificials and you want to create an arrangement, what you really want to do is not try and cut them. You want to keep them nice and long. It seems such a shame to actually shorten them. So I'm going to try and make this arrangement without really cutting them to any degree. Now what I've got here is I've got this beautiful vase which I think tones quite well with our flowers, and in it is already some old floral foam, so I'm just going to put in some more old floral foam. But you could use scrunched up wire, you could use even wet foam or foam that has been wet and is starting to dry. Or you can use agri-wool, that's also good for artificial flowers. Or you can use dry sec foam as well. It just depends how long you want to keep it and how special you want it to be. So another good tip, if you're going to make something that's quite tall, is to put a little bit of weight into the bottom of your container as well. That works really, really well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of height. And for our height, I'm going to use this curly willow, which I've got. And if you know someone who has a piece of curly willow growing in the garden, you will be able to get loads off them because they'll be forever pruning it. But if you go to the florist and you buy a piece like this, it's very easy to actually root. You could just leave it in water and it will start to root. So flower-wise, the first ones I'm going to put in are these lovely cherry blossom. And I'm going to put these in first because they're tall. And as I say, I don't really want to cut them, so all we need to do is put a bend in them so that it does end up the kind of height that you want. And straight away we've actually got quite a nice arrangement with just the twigs and the blossom. And I always find with blossom it's quite a hard thing to have as a fresh flower, so having it as an artificial is a really good way of sorting out the issues of it being in flower. So if you were doing it for a function or needing it for an event, then actually that can be a really good way of having blossom and knowing that it's just going to be perfect. Now this is some eucalyptus. And this is the great thing with artificials. I can put that in and then I can manipulate it into wherever I want it to be. So I suppose the principles really for making an artificial arrangement as opposed to a fresh arrangement are pretty much the same. What you want to do is you want to put in your main height and structure first. Then you want to think about creating maybe a base of foliage before working in your flowers. The other thing to remember is to take off the labels. There's nothing worse than making something that gets put somewhere and then afterwards realise that there was one label and it sticks out like a sore thumb. So getting rid of the labels is a really good idea. So you might want to just do them all first, or just do a double check at the end that you've actually got them all. So you can see the principles are really the same. What you can do is you can group things, You can create a line coming through the arrangement. We can group the foliage as well, and that will help build an arrangement that has quite a nice look. Just putting things in kind of willy-nilly is not so good, unless that's the style that you're going for. So it could be good, but generally you want to put things in a kind of coordinated way. These little orchids are lovely. So this would be a great sort of arrangement for going in like the hall of a house, or at the top of the stairs, somewhere where it's a big space that can take a big arrangement. Now, one thing that you can do with silks that you just can't do with fresh flowers is you can cheat. You can put them in and let them float in a way that wouldn't be natural with real materials. So for example, if I wanted, I could put this up into here and you would never know. I could even put it onto a false stem. As long as it's supported and it's fine, it's not a problem that it's not reaching the vase. And really you can create something that is more than a fresh flower arrangement in some ways. You've got more options with artificial. I know that sounds a bit odd, but you really can just put them in exactly where you want them and manipulate them to suit. So with these beautiful lisianthus, I'm really wanting to get a little bit of a focal area. I'm going to put one just a little bit further back as well, just to take your eye through. So we've got quite a nice design. Now I do have a couple of ranunculus and we're going to bring them in here. And I must admit, I have used these for something else, and they are a little bit shorter, but that's okay. So we just want to do a double check. Now with your blossom, you can really just go over it, take away the unnatural straightness, space things out a little bit, and just make them look a little bit more natural. And it is really as simple as that. And what we've got then is we've got an arrangement that has a lot of visual impact because it's quite big. But these materials we could then take to pieces and reuse in a different way because we still have the stem length. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's quite nice doing something different with faux flowers rather than real flowers, just for a change. And if you've enjoyed it, then click here to subscribe. We'd really like you to join us for future videos. We upload new videos every week, and if you click on the bell, you'll be kept up to date with all our latest designs. So stay safe, and we hope to see you soon.